way down yonder.
There are different trails, but they all lead to the truth. Follow, 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 follow. Welcome back to another episode where you never know where we may go. Today I want to talk about balance. Balance, duality, yin, yang, light, dark, however you want to explain it. At the end of the day, it's about keeping a balance. In my own personal life, balance has been something hard to accomplish. Think of it like this. I'll use an example. When you're in a relationship or when you're solely focused on the bag, doesn't it seem to be a little unbalanced? It seems like when you get into relationships, and not for everyone, these my experiences, and you can let me know how it resonates with you in the comment. When I solely focus on my bag, it's like I don't have time for love. I don't have time for relationships. I don't have the time, required, or certain people need more than others. And maybe it's just that I haven't met my match because I'm coming up on balance, and I know that there is somebody out there that will help balance me out but not overbear. Everybody needs different, and everybody is different. I'm focusing on my money. I'm focusing on the bag. I can't really focus on a relationship too. And just like when I'm in a relationship, if you, some of you, maybe you can resonate with this. I'll be in a relationship and it seems like I'm losing focus on what I got going, calling things off because I want to lay up. And I think growing beings that we are learning how to bring balance back into our life and learning that we can have it all. We can have it all at once, but we have to learn how to balance out our life. Not only with love and money, but being a mother, being whatever you are, being a father, being a girlfriend, being waitress, being a business owner, being, and it's so much that entails with life. And I think sometimes we get overwhelmed, and that's why it's so important to take breaks. Also, you have to balance with breaks. It has to be okay for you to take breaks. Self-care, time when you're going out, you're celebrating, enjoy. What's the use of doing all this working? You think God wants us to work, but not have no fun? Yeah, Rihanna was working, but her ass was also having fun. Okay, you have to bring that balance. Not being too much of anything is harmful. If you're not getting enough sleep, that's harmful. Then your body starts to crash and you burn out. Staying up, now you're not prepared for tomorrow. You're groggy, you're irritated because you didn't get enough sleep. Oversleeping, also a sign of depression. Now you're not getting things done. You're not even acknowledging life. You're sleeping your life away. And a lot of times when people are sleeping, there's something deeper going on. What are you trying to escape from? Some people have codependency. Too much of that. Too much alcohol consumption. Now you blacking out. Now you're angry. You don't know what's going on. Too much of anything. Too much of substance. You feel like you need it. You can't go without it. Now you got an attitude because you don't have it. You see what I'm saying? You see where this is going? Also a form of distraction. It's a lot of distraction on the path. So you want to have that balance to know when to focus on certain things. You don't want to be stuck in your head and overthinking. That's too much, and that's harmful because we know overthinking leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to depression. And then here we have a downfall of things. Negative attracts negative and positive attracts positive. You have to be vigilant of what you want in your life. So if you want more of this, homegirls be like, hey, want to do this? You want to do that? And they be like, oh, I can't. I got to work. I just work. I just work. And I can't, I want to do things, but I don't. You have to take control of your life. You have the control to turn around anything. You have the power to create your own reality when you realize that. So if you want more time, then guess what? You're going to make that time. You're going to put those boundaries in at work. If I'm off, don't call me. And keeping that boundary with yourself. And sometimes that is attached to money, over preparing, having a scarcity mindset, always making sure that you have enough for being afraid to run out. And usually that comes from what kind of childhood you may have had, not having enough, having to get it out the mud, but realizing now that you have tapped into infinite abundance and that all possibilities are available to you as long as you do the work to get there. But it takes consistency, it takes determination, it takes will, it takes that just wanting to do it is enough, also taking the steps to do it. Or rich ass poor lifestyle, over giving, over sharing, giving things that you don't have, living a lifestyle that you can't afford, things like that. You have to have balance also within your money, the way you give, how you receive. You can't just be a giver, give everything you got and don't receive. That's no balance in that. And you also can't just be taking, using people. That's not good energy. That's what you're sending out to the universe. greed, and that's what's going to come back to you. Balance in your home life and how much time you spend with your kid, how much money you're giving them, maybe over spoiling, it's just a balance in everything. And these are just a couple examples. How much you tell. Everybody is not supposed to know everything about you. You can trust some people with your money that you can't trust with your kids. You could trust people to go out and and have a good time, but you can't trust them for an intellectual conversation. You have to have balance in the people around you and those boundaries and willpower to be like, okay, this is not something that I want in my life. So not giving that situation power over you, but being like, oh, okay, I can create my own reality by what I do. You cannot control people around you, but all you can do is control you, the balance that you bring in your life. You can demand that by having healthy boundaries. Another thing that's coming in, balance when it comes to, I know some people be like, oh, I'm an introvert. There's no balance in that. If you're steady not getting out, you're cooped up in a house, nobody's seeing, you're not enjoying nobody, you're not having, as human beings, we crave that attention, connection. I won't even say attention. We do got some attention seekers. I like a little attention myself. And then sometimes I don't want to fucking be bothered. Don't look at me. So, there has to be a balance in life, period. Say, you're a person that's used to going out. You're used to going out and being around people. You have to have that balance where you're like, okay, not today. Today's not the day. I need space. I need time for myself. I need to be alone, because there is a difference between being alone, taking that time alone, and being lonely. And I think sometimes people get it confused, because when you're in that space of solitude, this is the time for you to be reviewing your life, reflecting and seeing, okay, what's going on? What have I learned? What do I need to change? And people get that confused with loneliness and start talking, reaching out to people that they shouldn't even be fucking with. Shit like that. You have to balance that shit. Like, okay, I'm understanding that this is a space for me to be by myself. This is a space for me to gather my thought, bring my life back into balance. A lot of time when we get out of alignment, we are unbalanced. If you watch my other videos, I'm always saying stay grounded, get balanced, and that is grounding. Grounding and balance is the same thing. Grounded, being in your roots, knowing who you are, knowing what I'm doing, taking that time to self-analyze, reflect, and realize what needs to be brought back into balance. Okay? It's a practice. Just like you learn everything else, you have to learn balance. You have to learn when it's time. You have to learn cycles. You have to embrace those cycles and make sure that you're doing what you need to do. If you're building off of chaotic energy, then everything you build will be chaotic. If you build from a balanced, grounded space, then everything will be solidified and grounded. That's just like trying to build something on quicksand. That shit is going to fall and sink. So make sure you are not the house and life is not the quicksand. Ashe. To top off the conversation, I want to talk about the yin and the yang, the duality, light and dark. When I first started my journey, I was, I'm all about light. I'm definitely a light worker. Don't get it twisted. But I learned over time that you cannot be all light, okay? You must have that balance and that duality, because when you are all light, now who do you think will come for you? The light attracts everything, including the dark. These are energy vampires who may be attracted to the light. You have to have that ermine. You must go through the dark. You must find those dark parts within yourself and embrace them and learn how to make them work for the good. So we all should be dark and light and have that balance. You must go through the dark. You must go through those shadows of yourself and make them work for you and embrace that dark side of you. And that's when you are at full power. So if you don't know what shadow work is, make sure that you join my shadow work class. I'll be having one coming up at the end of February. So make sure that you find your peace withouthe.com. Another thing I wanted to talk about is balancing feminine and masculine energy. Being too stuck in your feminine energy, that's being overly emotional, overly nurturing, maybe taking care of others more than you're taking care of yourself. Everyone should be balanced. I don't care if you're a man, you're a woman. Every being has a masculine and feminine side. If you notice, people who are just so macho all the time, whether it be a man or a stud, you have to have a feminine side. You have to activate that nurturing side and bring that balance. All of us, like women, have a masculine side. And the masculine side helps you to bring order and helps you to get things done. masculine. Many other attributes of masculine and feminine energy, but knowing that you have to get balanced. So if you're always stuck in your masculine side, try to be more feminine when it comes to nurturing, caring, using more compassion and planning. And your masculine side, if you're over masculine, try to tone that down and bring it into balance. Balance feels so much better. Over masculinity causes people to feel like they can't cry. They can't cry. They gotta be strong all the time. Believe me, everybody needs a moment. And tears soothe the soul. Tears free the soul. Tears cleanse the soul. So I don't know who this is for, but somebody needs to hear it. If you haven't cried in 10 years, baby, let her rip. Okay. If you have any questions, anything about this subject or anything you wanted to add, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Thank you for joining the show, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Follow.